Okay, just a small disclaimer before I get started. This next message may offend some pet food manufacturers. Relax. I'm just making you better and educating the pet parents at the same time. Thought I'd start today's vlog with a very popular question. I mean, I get this one all the time. You sneezed on. Here's the question I got. It actually came in from Snapchat. Check it out. My mom says all the other proteins besides chicken are so expensive. Is it okay for me to eat only chicken, or does she need to add different proteins to my diet? Great question, Kyla. I know just the right place to answer it. This is Juliet right here. Tell them a little bit about yourself. What's your favorite hobby?
Oh, my favorite hobby is...
All right, Juliet, what would you say is the #1 protein source that's purchased here on a daily basis?
chicken.
Why chicken?
Because it's cheaper.
Because it's cheaper. Check it out. So obviously, chicken is going to be the #1 choice that most people make, and that's because of price. I'd love to finish answering this question right here, but gotta be somewhere in a couple hours. Let me go finish this somewhere else. Okay, so I'm traveling to London. Would you feed your dog or cat chicken every single day?
Not at all. I don't eat chicken every day myself, so why would I do that to my pet?
Okay, finally, let me answer that question. What is the big deal if you feed your pet chicken all the time? For this, I need to go to a drawing. Okay, so let's analyze chicken. If you go onto the USDA website, it will tell you today that chicken is normally 19 parts omega-6 to 1 part omega-3. In fact, it can be even 30 to 1. But what does omega-6 and omega-3 actually mean? All right, let's take a look at fish oil. Here is a great example of what omega-3 actually is. And on the other side, corn oil, a good example of omega-6. So what is the difference between the two? Well, one is anti-inflammatory and the other pro-inflammatory. Here's where I want you to think of it as a faucet. Omega-3 being cold and omega-6 being hot. If you've got a perfect flow from each side, well then you got lukewarm water. And this is how you want to look at it when it comes to feeding your dog. The closest that you can get to this ratio, the better for their overall health. Now, remember what I said about chicken earlier? It's 19 parts omega-6 to 1 part omega-3. So ideally, while your pet's diet should look like this, a 1-to-1 ratio or close to it as possible, if you fed chicken all of the time, you'll end up creating a 19-to-1 imbalance, 19 parts pro-inflammatory to 1 part anti-inflammatory. Okay, stop. Don't freak out. I know a lot of you are feeding chicken and are like, oh my god, I'm causing so much inflammation in my pet. Look, the inspiration for this comes from Dr. Karen Becker and Steve Brown when they were holding their lecture at the HVMA this year, a sold out crowd. They were educating veterinarians on the issues of unbalanced diets and how to balance diets properly over time using real food. There's raw food manufacturers popping up everywhere nowadays and everybody's competing with everybody, and it's awesome. However, everybody's competing with price. Everybody's using chicken, which is an economical protein source, and firing it out there on the market. A lot of these foods are missing omega-3 sources. So the challenge for a lot of pet parents is when they look at these bottles give a general recommendation dose, but it's not for an unbalanced diet. So if you're feeding just chicken all the time, sometimes you need up to 9 times the dosages. It doesn't mean if your omega-6s are very high, you should bring your omega-3s very high. Okay, now there are some manufacturers out there that are aware of this and they've balanced out those levels. So this isn't everybody. Pick up the phone, call your manufacturer, ask them if they're aware of it. If it's not not balanced properly and you're not rotating as a pet owner, that is a highway to a disaster. There's always good things in life, but you can always overdo a good thing. And this is what we're talking about with chicken. It's affordable and a lot of people want to save money today, which is a good thing. But if you keep feeding inflammatory foods, you're going to cause a lot of issues down the road for your pet and even for yourself. So here's what happens when you tell somebody in the Heathrow airport that you're a dog lover. You're forced to buy 5,000 shortbread doggy cookies.